I was standing in the toothpaste aisle yesterday, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., when I made the fatal mistake. I checked my phone.
I'm holding a tube of toothpaste, the one on sale because I'm fiscally responsible, and there it was, a notification. Not a text from a friend or a meme from my brother, no.
It was an update from a guy I sat next to in 10th grade history class. Let's call him Kevin. Kevin has just founded a startup. Kevin is 28. Kevin is also apparently humbled and honored to be featured in a magazine I have never heard of, standing on a balcony that looks suspiciously like it belongs in a Bond movie.
And immediately, right there in aisle 4, between the floss and the mouthwash, I felt it. That heavy, sinking feeling in the pit of the stomach. You know the one. It's a very specific flavor of panic.
It's the sensation that you have missed a bus that everyone else is currently drinking champagne on. I looked at Kevin's balcony, then I looked at my discount toothpaste, and my brain whispered a very helpful, very loud sentence. You are extremely behind.
It's ridiculous, right? I mean, logically, I know that Kevin's success has absolutely nothing to do with my dental hygiene, but logic doesn't live in the toothpaste aisle. In that moment, I wasn't just a person buying toiletries. I was a contestant in the great race of life, and I had apparently tripped at the starting line and was currently napping in the mud.
We all do this. We all have this invisible stopwatch ticking in our heads. It's not a standard clock, though. It's a mean clock. It doesn't tell time. It tells judgment. It says things like, by 25, you should have figured out your career. By 30, you should own property. By 35, you should have a 401k that makes your accountant weep with joy.
And when we look at our actual lives, which are usually messy and confusing and involve eating cereal for dinner more often than we'd like to admit, we feel this profound dissonance. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called temporal self-discrepancy. It's the anxiety that arises when your internal timeline doesn't match the external social clock. The social clock. It sounds like a bad game show, doesn't it? But it's a real concept developed by sociologists in the mid-20th century. Basically, society collectively agrees on the correct time to do things. Graduate, marry, buy a house, have kids, retire, die. Here is the funny part. We are running our lives based on a schedule that was finalized around 1955. Think about that. We are holding ourselves to a timeline designed for a world where people worked at the same factory for 40 years and houses cost $11. And yet we torture ourselves. I'll be lying in bed at 11 p.m. trying to sleep, and my brain will go, hey, remember how your cousin just bought a boat? You don't have a boat. You have a Honda Civic that makes a weird noise when you turn left. Why are you so slow? And the anxiety that follows isn't just about the boat. It's not about material things, really. It's primal. Deep down in the lizard part of our brain, falling behind feels dangerous. Thousands of years ago, if you fell behind the tribe, you got eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. So when you see Kevin on his balcony, your amygdala screams, run, catch up, the tiger is coming. But there is no tiger. There's just you in your pajamas, scrolling Instagram. The problem with the feeling of being behind is that it assumes life is linear. It assumes life is a single track, like a Mario Kart race. Start here, finish there. Collect coins along the way. If you're not in first place, you're losing.
But life isn't a track. It's a forest. Imagine walking through a forest. You can't be behind in a forest. You're just walking.
Maybe you found a nice stream and stopped to look at it for 3 years. Maybe you climbed a tree and fell out and had to spend a year recovering. Maybe you took a detour because you saw a weird mushroom. That's not being lost. That's just hiking. If you ask a flower if it's late because it bloomed in June instead of May, it wouldn't understand the question. It's just doing what it does when the conditions are right. We are the only species that looks at a calendar and hates ourselves. I want to validate something for you, though. This feeling, this panic that you are wasting your potential, it comes from a good place. It comes from a desire to be safe and to be worthy. You want to know that you're doing it right. You want to know that you matter. But you cannot measure your worth with a ruler made by someone else. When we fixate on the timeline, we miss the time. I spent so much of my 20s worrying about what I wasn't doing that I almost missed what I was doing. I was building friendships. I was learning how to cook without setting the kitchen on fire. I was figuring out what kind of music I actually liked, not just what was on the radio. These things don't show up on LinkedIn. You can't put, "finally learned how to execute a proper squat" on a resume. But that is life. That is the texture of existence. So, here is the truth I had to tell myself in the toothpaste aisle. You are not behind. You are simply here. Your timeline is yours. It is custom made. It accounts for your specific traumas, your specific joys, your specific energy levels, and your specific luck. Maybe you're starting a new career at 40. That's not late. That's right on time for you. Maybe you're single when all your friends are married. That's not a failure. That's just your current chapter. Maybe you're 22 and you feel like you've already messed everything up. Trust me, you haven't even started. There is no schedule. The principal who made the schedule died 50 years ago. School is out. You can put down the stopwatch. It's okay to just be where you are. It's okay if your big achievement today was getting out of bed and drinking a glass of water. It's okay if you're still figuring it out. We are all just figuring it out. Even Kevin. I bet you anything Kevin is on that balcony right now, looking at his phone, wondering why he isn't as happy as someone else he sees on the screen. Because the finish line moves. It always moves. So stop running. Look around. You're doing fine. Really, you're doing just fine.